Hey, beautiful souls. It's Grace here, and today I want us to talk about something which is deep, close to my heart, and powerful. Understanding the psychology of a high value woman, or basically any woman, just understanding how women operate and how you should handle them. So, if you've ever asked yourself, why do I feel so deeply? Why do I notice things others ignore? Why do I sometimes feel overwhelmed by my own emotions? Then this video is for you. Okay, so hold on here. I got you. Okay. So understanding women's psychology is layered and it's very powerful if it's a journey you are looking to explore, especially for women like you. What you have been doing, especially when you're trying to find healing and everything, you have been doing some deep self work. You're trying to heal. You're growing into a high value woman in your daily to daily activities. So it's not about stereotyping. It's about becoming more aware of the woman you want to be, and how a woman basically thinks, how they feel, how they process life based on biology, socialization, and life experiences. So I wanted to look at the psychological point of view of becoming a woman. So here I'll be combining science, emotions, spirituality, and generally life experiences. That's what we are looking at in this video. Okay. So, how is the heart of a woman? Let's start with this. Women are wired for depth. We feel, we process, we carry. So science tells us that women's brains are more active in areas linked to emotions, empathy, and decision making. Sometimes you might find you telling your partner or your man you're not empathetic, but they are not women, but they need to understand your heart so that they can know how to handle you. So spirit tells us that we are nurturers, not just biological, but biologically and physically. We often find our identity in our relationships with family, with partners, with friends, with the community, and most importantly, with a higher being, in this case, God. So that's not a weakness, it's a design. It's how it was designed to be. But this is where it gets tough. When those relationships are wounded, when expectations aren't met, when we give and feel unseen, that's when we start doubting our self-worth. Okay, you start wondering, does this person really understand? Do they understand me? Why? Because we have a relational identity. So women tend to find themselves more through relationships. Like you discover yourself through family, through friends, through partners, through performances or titles that you get to experience and share something. So sometimes it's not really about a performance or a title you're given. That's why when a woman feels disconnected, misunderstood, or rejected, it's a problem. Her sense of self can actually feel very shaken. It really affects women. So this is not a weakness, it's what we usually call emotional intelligence. But without boundaries can lead to people pleasing or losing yourself. So how do you handle this? As a high value woman, you can nurture deep connections with friends, family, with the people around you, while keeping your identity rooted in God and on purpose, not only people. Actually, God and purpose will really, really, really help you as you grow in this path. So we seek emotional depth and also expression. So women's brains are wired for empathy, emotion, and communication. So the female brain has more active areas in the limbic system, that is the science part of it, which does the emotional processing, and the prefrontal cortex, that is for decision making and social behavior. That's what the men look at when they're trying to get a partner to marry. Women often feel deeply, which makes them intuitive, nurturing, and insightful. But if suppressed or dismissed, this emotional richness turns into overwhelming anxiety and emotional burnout. So how do you leverage this? So lean into your intuition and sensitivity. Make space for emotional honesty, but also ground it with truth and wisdom, not just a reaction. That's something very, very important for you to know. So internal critique and self-worth battles will always be there, and women will struggle with, most of us struggle with imposter syndrome. You struggle with body image, you want that flat tummy, you want your face to be flawless, you want to look cute in that dress. Also, sometimes you feel like you're not enough. So this is shaped by society's constant messages, like the society is telling you should be beautiful, you should be productive, should be strong but not soft, should be desirable but not pure. So it creates internal pressure and comparison, especially in moments of transition, like when you lose a job, or when you become a mother, or when you're just trying to rebuild your life. How do you leverage this? So you're supposed to recognize your inner critic as part of you, not the whole of you. Okay, invite truth. Let God's word come in and bring the light, and also exercise self-compassion, so that that will speak louder than what you'll be feeling. Part 2, what keeps us stuck? Okay, what will keep you stuck? So we carry a silent pressure to be everything. You're trying to be soft but strong, beautiful but still modest, successful but humble, nurturing but not needy. Like you're nurturing people and you're not needy in yourself. You're not showing people you are needy, but you want to take care of them. So it is a very tight rope in this case. And when life knocks us down through shame, rejection, betrayal, or burnout, we often blame ourselves. We say, I'm too much, maybe I'm not enough. But friend, that is inner critic. You're criticizing yourself inside, and that is not the voice of truth. It's the echo of expectation that is placed on women for the past very many generations. And the more you understand your design, the more you will stop apologizing for your wiring. So you're not a lot, you're not too much for anyone, you're just enough, and you need to look at that. So now, to be a high-value woman, you need to understand woman psychology, and also the people around you should understand that. So what is a high-value woman? She's not perfect, she's not loud, she's not always put together. Guys, my fellow women, you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be loud in that congregation or that room. You don't have always, sometimes you will just be a couch potato. Like, it's not always when you're put together, but one thing you are self-aware, you are spiritually grounded. That woman honors her emotions without letting them rule her. She leads in love but sets clear boundaries. This high value woman is secure, not because everything is fine, guys, but because she knows she is with God. Okay, she's in God's eyes, like you're the apple of his eye, even in the storm. So high value doesn't mean expensive. I know that's what people think. You can be dressed modestly but not very expensively, but still be a high value woman. Being a high value woman means it's just priceless. That's what I can say. It is how you show up, how you speak, how you hold space for others and for yourself. That's very, very important for you to understand as a high value woman. Just choose to be a spiritually rooted woman who loves God, who seeks God. Like, be spiritually awakened. In that, you will begin to see yourself as God's daughter, not just as a woman with flaws. You will begin to hear and follow divine wisdom more than external pressure. Okay, also you'll begin to heal emotional wounds through grace, not just grit. I have a t-shirt which is written grit and favor, but the other day I was thinking grit means sometimes just working too hard. Yeah, so also just heal your emotional wounds through grace, not your hard work. So the spiritual identity makes you resilient, radiant, and rooted. This woman has these qualities of a high woman, a value woman in that case. Okay, how does this one help you? Being a high value woman will help you influence others. So you are naturally detail oriented and servant hearted. When other women don't show the same care, it can feel like apathy or laziness to you. But the truth is, some women are still in survival mode. They are coping, man. Some never learn to value details. Some express care differently, not the way you expect. So the psychology of women, understanding that, will help you realize leadership is not about is about doing more than others. It's about loving people where they are at the moment, while modeling what is possible. Do not force issues, guys. So if you practice this, then you will attain emotional maturity plus influence. So you'll be emotionally mature but still influence without forcing issues. So you are able to hold standards without shaming, and that's a divine balance. I feel like I'm in a psychology class as I share this with you guys, but basically that's it. Part 4 of this video is, what do you do when others don't understand? Okay, you may wonder why others don't see what you see, why they don't notice the details you care about, why they don't serve with the same heart you do. This is hitting me, guys, and it can really hurt. And I have been there when people don't really understand why can they serve the same way you do. But here is what I have learned: you are a standard bearer, not a judge. Remember, you are working towards becoming a high value woman. So your sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a superpower. Your leadership isn't about control, it's about example. And your value isn't about being better, it's about being anchored. Like, yeah, you don't want to outshine anyone. No. So guys, that's all what I can say, and I need us to do some final things, takeaways in this video. So understanding women psychologically empowers you to love your softness and strength. Be emotionally aware, not emotionally ruled. Lead with warmth and wisdom. See your value as intrinsic, not based on productivity. Sometimes you will be a couch potato, and it is acceptable. Uplift others without carrying their emotional weight. It will be too much for you. You become a lighthouse in this case, not by pushing, but by being lit from within. When you understand the psychology of women or the people around you, you become a lighthouse. You lead without judging, okay, and without pushing, putting a lot of face, because most of the time you understand what these people are going through, and you can handle whatever shit or whatever they are going through. So if this video spoke something inside you, leave a comment. What part of being a high value woman are you embracing today? So share this with a sister, with a friend, or someone who is learning to love the woman she's becoming. And remember, you're not too much, you're not too sensitive, you're not too wrong for caring. Okay, you're not wrong for caring. You're just awakening. You are just awakening to who you are always meant to be. So see you guys in the next video, and keep growing, keep glowing, and keep walking in your divine worth. Bye bye, beautiful souls.